Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our channel INewsYou. Today, we bring you an in-depth report on a story that has captured national attention for the past several months. The Port of Baltimore, a vital artery of American commerce, is finally back in full operation after an unprecedented disaster. Stay with us as we unfold the details of this monumental recovery effort. On March 26, the 984-foot container ship Dali lost power and crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge, a crucial structure carrying Interstate 695 over the Patapsco River. The impact was devastating, causing the bridge to collapse and tragically killing 6 men who were working on the span. The aftermath left the channel blocked, crippling one of the busiest ports in the United States. Colonel Estee Pincheson says, "We've cleared the Fort McHenry Federal Channel for safe transit." Those were the words of Colonel Estee Pincheson, Baltimore District Commander of the Army Corps of Engineers, as he announced the reopening of the channel on Monday evening. The reopening marks a significant milestone after nearly 2 months of intensive cleanup and recovery efforts. The recovery wasn't a simple task. Crews used advanced technologies like sonar, LiDAR, and magnetometers to scan the riverbed for any hazardous debris. They worked tirelessly to ensure the channel was safe for navigation, culminating in a full reopening 11 weeks after the disaster. Cynthia Mitchell says, "We were awaiting final results from underwater surveys to confirm the channel was clear. It was a meticulous process, but safety was our top priority." Safety was indeed paramount as the Army Corps and other agencies worked around the clock. Every day, the memory of those who lost their lives fueled their efforts. "Not a day went by that we didn't think about all of them, and that kept us going," Colonel Pincheson reflected. The sentiment was shared across the teams involved in the recovery operation. The Port of Baltimore is no ordinary port. For 13 consecutive years, it has handled more automobiles than any other U.S. port, processing over 800,000 vehicles in 2023 alone. It ranks in the top 25 nationally for total tonnage, dry bulk tonnage, and container volume received. However, the partial closure of the shipping channel had a dramatic impact. In April of last year, the port's public terminals handled 1 million tons of general cargo. This April, that number plummeted to just 1,822 tons. The economic repercussions were felt both locally and globally. Jonathan Daniels says, while cruise activity resumed in late May, cargo shipping will take longer to return to previous levels. "We're estimating a full recovery could extend into late 2024 or early 2025. The path to recovery has been long and arduous." In the weeks following the collapse, the port's cruise ship terminal transformed into a headquarters for the unified command responding to the disaster. Key players included the Army Corps, Navy, Coast Guard, Maryland Transportation Authority, and emergency response firm Witt O'Brien's. Lieutenant General Scott Spellman says, "We are proud of the unified efforts that fully reopened the federal channel to port operations. The partnerships that endured through this response made this pivotal mission successful." The teamwork and dedication of these organizations were critical in reopening the channel. Temporary channels allowed some vessels to visit Baltimore, but the full restoration involved painstaking efforts, including the use of explosives to cut up a large piece of the Key Bridge lodged on top of the Dali. On May 13, a significant portion of the bridge was removed using explosives. A week later, the Dali, bearing scars from its collision, was towed to the port for repairs, marking a symbolic step in the recovery. The cleanup was meticulous. Crews used the massive Chesapeake 1000 crane to lift a 90-ton piece of wreckage from the riverbed, clearing the final obstacles from the federal channel. With vessel traffic now returning to normal, there's a sense of progress, though challenges remain. While the shipping channel is clear, the collapse of the Key Bridge continues to impact road traffic. The bridge was one of 3 major crossings of the Baltimore harbor, and its absence has sent more cars into the tunnels beneath the river. Trucks carrying hazardous materials, banned from the tunnels, must now navigate around the city. The state of Maryland is moving forward with plans to replace the Key Bridge. The new bridge is expected to cost approximately $1.7 billion and is slated to open in 2028. President Joe Biden has pledged federal funding for the project, but Congress has yet to pass the necessary legislation to fully secure the funds. The reopening of the Port of Baltimore shipping channel is a testament to resilience and collaboration. It underscores the importance of this port to both local and global economies. As Baltimore continues to rebuild and recover, the memory of those lost in the tragedy remains a poignant reminder of the costs and challenges we face in maintaining our vital infrastructure. Thank you for joining us today. Stay tuned for more in-depth reports on stories that matter to you. Until next time, stay safe and informed.